Good morning, good morning, all. Hello to everyone on this lovely, bright, sunshiny day in South Florida. I'm here doing my early morning travels as I usually do. Saying hello to everyone. Hopefully, you had a fabulous week. I just want to jump on right quick, even though the sun has my face in two different tones. Top of my face is shaded, the bottom of my face is not. That's because I am facing in the way of the sun. But I just wanted to come on here and say good morning to everyone. I will check in with you a little bit later, probably once I get home, and then just vlog about the week, let you know what was going on. See you guys later. Bye. Hi all, welcome back to my channel. So I was out a little bit earlier this morning just to get a nice little welcome so you guys can see all that lovely sunshine that we deal with here in South Florida. I said I would come back and tell you how my week went. So this week was our first 5 full days, and I know you guys heard me say that before, 5 fun days. So this week was our first week that we had 5 full days of school. This week was a way for routines and procedures to really get into place as how they're going to be ran in my classroom. Students get a better understanding of their expectations, their requirements, and things of that nature. So this week, we did not have to sit with the students for lunch. We still took them to the cafeteria for lunch, make sure that they got to their designated areas where they're supposed to be sitting at to have their lunch. And then, of course, after lunch, we would come back and pick them up. Next to me, I have my book. So I've actually had this particular book for, I want to say at least 2-3 years. I just never used this particular book because I've had so many other books. But I said, you know what? Time to use some things that we have already. So I decided to use this book this year for doing my writing down of information. We team plan in my school at my grade level, so that means we all pretty much have the same plans going on for whatever the subjects are. But however, because I'm a pencil and paper type person, I still write in my planner the plans that we're doing for the day. Typically, I will also make any notations of what changes were made, anybody that had something going on. I make myself a little notation in my lesson plan book, so that way I have it as a reference all the time. If we did a fire drill, if we had a tornado drill, or if we had anything else that was going on in the class, I make myself a little notation in there. This lesson planner is a very plain, basic one. I don't think Target has this version anymore. I know they have other versions that they currently sell at the Target stores, but I'm pretty sure the concept is the same, where the months are set up in the beginning of the planner. So let me just show you a month. So I'm just gonna pick a random month here. It doesn't really mean anything. So this is how the month is set up. So I just picked a random month so you can see what it looks like. And then the weeks, I'll pick a random week here. The weeks are set up like this. So the days of the week are at the top of the page. And then you have all of the boxes on the side that you can put whatever subjects that you want in there. I'll probably try to add my upcoming week so you can see, basically how I set up my lesson plans. But since we team plan, pretty much our plans are done electronically, so I don't have to necessarily put everything down on paper. Myself, my other teacher colleagues, and I'm sure many people in YouTube who are teachers as well, know that we can't write everything down that we do in those boxes. It's just, there's not enough room. So we just put down a little here, a little there, a little note here, a little note there, things of that nature. I even know some teachers that use more than one book, and so that's my plan also. I have my online lesson plans I have this book that I'm going to be jotting down any changes that I had on my lesson plans, and then I'm going to have an additional book, which I have around here somewhere, which I can't find at this second, but I'm going to have another book that's strictly for my my small groups, because what I do in my small groups is not going to be exactly what I do for the whole group. So if something did not get missed, I make myself a little note, so make sure that we pick back up on anything that was missed for the next time. We have learned that in our day we have about, and I say about, so I'm going to approximate here, about 9 different things that we do in my classroom. So my schedule and my activities that we do, we have to be on a consistent basis. And one of my words that my kids have learned is being productive, because we have lots of things that we need to get done. So productivity is a big word for me in my classroom. Maybe someone may want to think of a word for them to have in their classroom for the year or for the month or for the quarter, however you want to separate your time. But for me in my classroom, productivity is a big word that I tend to have because I want my students to know that we are here to be productive. We have things we need to get accomplished. So that means if you are taking an extremely long amount of time to do one activity, we're going to be moving on to the next one, and you can come back around and visit that activity again, maybe later on in the day, or maybe you need to take it with you for the afternoon and bring it back tomorrow. So I do have that policy put in place that if the student cannot finish the activity that we're working on, so let's just say we're working on a math activity, and the week that we just wrapped up, we were working on rounding. Just give that an example. If the activity had, say, 10 problems on it, and the student was only able to get to 5, maybe 6 of the problems while we were all working on it together, then later on in the day, there is some time that they can still continue to work on the activity. And if for some odd reason they went home early that day, I'm going to let you know, okay, go ahead and put that in your backpack. Take that home with you. When I see you the next time, please make sure you have it completed and return it to me. So that's pretty much how I have been introducing policies and procedures to my students. We are still learning the rules in the classroom. I think one of the rules that I put in place is not without permission. So if a student comes to me and say, can I do something? I said, I don't remember, recognizing you, so I'm going to have you go ahead and go have a seat so you can go ahead and do it the right way. So instead of letting it build up that you keep doing it incorrectly, I'm letting them know in a nice way that no, that's not the way we were going to handle this. We're going to do it the right way. So why don't you go back and try it again? So I don't do it in a mean or negative way, but I do want my students to know that we do have rules put in place for particular reasons. So let's just say one of the alarms goes off in the classroom, and you're supposed to follow me when we're trying to get out of the building. We do have procedures in place on what you're supposed to do in the event that one of the alarms goes off in the school. So you need to make sure you have your eyes on me at all times, so you know where I'm at, so you are safe, and you need to be going with me so we can go to a appropriate location where everyone is safe, and we don't have to worry about someone being misplaced or they don't know what's going on. Nope, because your eyes should be with me at all times, so you know what I'm doing. You should be going right along with me. I have given out class jobs in my classroom, and I think I'm at 13 class jobs. I want to say 13. It's about 13. I have a class jobs chart in my room, and so within the first few days of school, one of the classroom building activities that I did was, trying to figure out what classroom job would you be interested in having. Not necessarily saying that you were going to get that job, but which one was an interest to you. So classroom jobs have been put into play. Classroom management, classroom procedures, classroom behavior management also has been put in place in my classroom. So my students are big enough, they're old enough, they're not 1, 2, 3, 5-year-old people. These young ladies and young men are old enough to know that, yes, I'm going to be held accountable. I have to be responsible for these actions that I'm doing. And if I do not do that, then my teacher is going to let me know, hey, that's not right. You're not going to be behaving that way in my classroom, and I'm going to make sure that you do it the right way, because I'm not going to let you get to your next grade level and your teacher's going to be like, well, you didn't learn, the proper way to sit in a chair in your previous grade. Oh, no, we're not going to have that. So we're still going through that process. This week we had our first official tests for a couple of our subjects. So I was grading those tests, and the scores are really, really good. I'm very pleased that my students have been doing such a great job for the beginning of the year. So that means that their previous school year, that prior knowledge that they needed, just going tongue-tied there, prior knowledge that they needed from the previous school year is there. I'm glad that they have that knowledge built in. I was a little bit worried about them having certain things already put into place, but for right now, we're doing really good. The scores are looking really good. And we will be talking more in the class about, utilizing our prior knowledge, using that background knowledge to help us with things that are coming up now. And of course, anything that we're going to be doing in the future. So this week was good. My shoes were great. I told you guys I was going to be ready. My shoes were not prepared for those first few days of school, but guess what? They are prepared now. So I'm so happy that I got a chance to get the correct shoes for me to have in my new location, because I am on my feet quite a lot. I mean, even in my previous schools, I'm on my feet all the time, but this go round, I guess maybe because we're coming off from, the summer time frame, not being able to really have to walk so much throughout the day. So I got it. I'm good. My feet are like, thank you. You had to do this. Awesome job. I will be working on a few activities at home, certain projects and things that I want to get together for my students. We did one nice scientific project last week, which I think they enjoyed. It only required a few pieces of equipment. Some of you may or may not have heard of a gumdrop experiment. So if you haven't, check it out, Google it. The students really did enjoy doing the activity, because we have been going over the scientific method, or some people call it the scientific process. So it was kind of interesting for them to be able to become scientists and see what their final outcome was going to be based on the material that they were given. So that was my week. We got how many? 8 days that we have been to school officially this school year thus far for the 2018-19 school year. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.